for 30, presented by Levi's.
Eitan Finkelstein.
Eitan Finkelstein.
Eitan Finkelstein.
Say it.
Eitan Finkelstein.
Eitan Finkelstein.
Eitan Finkelstein.
Breathing.
Eitan Finkelstein. Eitan Finkelstein.
The man who changed volleyball forever. This is the Eitan Finkelstein story.
He was really bigger than the sport itself. There were more Eitan Finkelstein fans than volleyball fans.
You know, worldwide, Eitan is known as an iconic figure. He's one of the more popular players in the world.
Try to get a dictionary and try to find a word that what he's doing right now, and I'm just lost for words. I mean, he's amazing.
We know who the best is. Like, come on, man, say it. Let the truth be told. People, when they look at him play, it's like, oh, I could do that. Nah, you can't do that.
From the things that you hear, he's the hardest working guy too, and he works really hard. Very hard work ethic.
Just has a killer instinct, you know what I'm saying? So naturally, you just have a will that, you know what I'm saying, to do whatever, you know what I'm saying, to get the win. The skill of it is, the skill of it is amazing.
The greatest all-around player that we've got in the game today. He can just do just about anything. He's got a tremendous heart and a will to win.
He is a freak of nature. Jumps higher than I do. And I'm not a bad jumper. The guy comes out here to pluck 50 and just flies through the air. To score points on him, and hard not to let him. If he doesn't block a ball, which never happens, he can. The guy's unbelievable. I don't think there's like any flaws in his game, really.
He's basically unstoppable when his game is on.
After endless months of speculation, the world's #1 volleyball recruit finally made a decision.
I've decided to take my talents to Washington Heights.
Many people were devastated, hurt. I know there was sadness on the streets. I actually have a friend that jumped off the top of a building because of the news. I don't like to bring that up.
I feel like my heart's been ripped out, stomped out.
This is the worst thing that could have ever happened to me.
He was expected to go to Toronto University. I mean, they raised him in Toronto. His whole career started there. That's where he learned to play volleyball and other sports. And he was supposed to be their homegrown guy. And when he decided to come to Washington Heights and go and attend YU and play for them and resurrect the volleyball program, it was shocking.
His jerseys were being burnt by numerous people. It was almost sad.
Despite the interruption, Eitan Finkelstein managed to tune out the haters and prepare for the season.
You know, they say all the greats are first one in, last one out. Same goes with Fink.
By being the first person at practice, by staying later, by waking up at 6 in the morning to condition, he was the one that resurrected the program here. He was the one that made this program into what it is today. Amazing.
His work ethic was noticed by his peers as he regained his popularity.
He's a guy who's made himself. Here's a guy who's the first guy at practice every day. Broke his wrist one time, was still the first guy at practice the next day. Wow. So, you know, I saw firsthand why he's the greatest.
YU volleyball was just, it was sad. It was frankly pathetic. They won, I think, one game in their whole time here. And with the arrival of Eitan Finkelstein on the scene, they had great expectations. they still only won one game, but the next season they actually won the championship in HVMAC. Yes, HVMAC was full of teams that had girls on their teams, people who have never played before, but yet it was still a championship. They were wearing his t-shirts, putting posters of him in his room. He was signing autographs for hours after games, endorsements with Nike and Powerade.
Nothing refills my electrolytes like Powerade.
Just as things seemed at their finest, controversy threatened to destroy all that was built.
The food scandal really created a divide with the team. Fink, being an international celebrity, didn't sit well with his fans. They didn't know who to trust, who to believe. They're reading all this stuff on TMZ.
Fans literally began to fight as each took sides on the Finkelstein controversy.
He became an icon, bigger than the game itself. And then real tragedy struck. I believe he was walking in the lunchroom one day and he walked out with a tray without paying. And they caught him. In
our own understanding of Jewish law, there are boundaries that we can't bridge. And some of these problems will be dealt with over time.
Eitan was caught. He was caught stealing. He liked those, you know, those little Goober peanut butter and jelly cans from the cap store, and he needed to take them, and he took them. And it wasn't like a one-time offense. He took 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 70 times, and he was getting caught, and people started to physically, you know, not physically, they were pained. I was pained by it. People were pained by it.
Fans were literally in shock over their fallen hero.
What the hell? Get out of here, jockey! Oh! No!
Wow, the food scandal. Those were tough times. Those were tough times. I mean, people ask me, do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. You know, the dean brought me into his office one day. We know what you did. Yeah, I know what I did also. I did it over 100 times. I don't regret it. I pay full tuition, $40,000 a year. I don't live in New York. I'm not from this area. I'm here every Shabbos, you know, $15 every time, you know. And you know what? You know, this team relies on me to be the athlete that I am. And I need to eat for that.
For protective purposes, the face and identity of the following subject will not be shown.
You know, the first time I saw him do it, I was like, you know, okay, fine, once, that's okay. But he just kept doing it, and doing it, and doing it. And I just, you know, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to turn him in. I just had to.
In the wake of the incident, measures were taken to prevent further theft in the cafeteria.
The fridge locker, the easy-to-use, personal, portable food security system.
In the aftermath of the scandal, on the brink of the biggest game of his career, Fink knew the only way to regain what he had lost would be to give the performance of his life. His entire future depended on this one single game.